Why is it likely that Bitcoin will go up in value and potentially reach $1 million by the year 2030? Well, first of all, it's true what they say that Bitcoin is digital gold because it's rare. There's only 21 million coins, and in fact, a lot of those have been lost. For instance, the ones by Satoshi likely will never be recovered. A lot of people, there's a lot of stories about people losing big amounts, significant amounts of Bitcoin, like the person who had it on a hard drive and then accidentally let that hard drive go to a dump. I believe that was in the UK. And that Bitcoin is currently worth over, if I'm not mistaken, $100 million, and has been trying to get permission from the government to go and dig through the trash to recover his hard drive. But by now, who knows if it's still even recoverable, even if they could find the drive. So there's many stories like that of like smaller amounts of Bitcoin being lost, and once the seed phrase is lost, well, the Bitcoin is lost forever. So by some estimations, that 21 million is actually closer to about 15 million, 1-5. So, there's already not enough Bitcoin to go around for every millionaire in the world to have a full Bitcoin. So you can imagine that currently we're kind of in a transition phase. The boomer generation has incredible amounts of wealth. I believe they hold about a little over half of the wealth that currently exists, and they are getting close to the age where they're gonna start giving up their inheritance money to the next generation. Well, I should have just said close to dying, but I don't want to sound too morbid. But yeah, they're close to dying, and that generational wealth is going to pass on to the next generation. And as you know, this, like my dad, for instance, he thinks Bitcoin is rat poison squared, like Warren Buffett's buddy, and he would never touch it, not with a 10-foot pole. But I believe there's a lot of people out there who, once they have their children inherit, like when they suddenly receive substantial amounts of money, where are they going to put it? Putting it in gold hasn't really performed all that well in the last few decades. Putting it in the stock market, is an option. Like an index fund is basically the closest thing you can get to a store of wealth that doesn't require a lot of maintenance, like putting it into property. China recently has shown that might not be the best idea, and especially if the world population starts declining. Demographics show that a lot of places the rate at which people have kids is declining, so there might actually be population decline overall, and starting especially in certain countries such as Japan, Western Europe, Italy, Belgium. There's not enough young people or immigration to replace the people that are lost. So what's going to happen with, people won't need more than one house, of course. So the value of property might not continue to go up, unless, of course, you're just looking at money debasement, like the euro just losing its value due to inflation, new money being printed. But if you look at the actual value of property, you could expect it to decline if there are less people. Just makes logical sense. Also, stocks, if you buy an index fund and there's this large proportion of the population that is starting to retire and starting to sell their assets, they will sell some of their stock to have to cover their living expenses each year. That might actually also be expected to decline to some extent. The only assets that I would expect to grow significantly over the next few decades is cryptocurrency, because it's currently not appreciated as much by the wealthy generation, and it's much more, I believe that my son will likely just plow all of his savings into Bitcoin as a store of wealth by default, because it's so much simpler. You know, you don't have to think about which stocks to buy, or you might not even have to think about market cycles by then. Who knows? Once people get used to the idea that there's a single superior hard asset or store of wealth, things become very easy. You can think like Michael Saylor and just basically try to buy as much Bitcoin as you can, as fast as you can, borrow if you have to obtain it, and then just watch your capital grow. So that's just one of many reasons that I think Bitcoin will go up in value, as long as there's no black swan event, security issue, or otherwise just erasing its value completely. I think that more and more people are going to get used to the idea of storing their wealth in Bitcoin, or at least a proportion of it, and yeah, trend go up. If you'd like to know other reasons that I believe Bitcoin will go up in value over time, please subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell, and we'll stay in touch. Thank you.